capital city convulsed with violence, just days before the first democratic elections in decades, might not seem ideal. Thousands of angry Egyptians are planning to mass in Cairo's Tahrir Square, hoping to send a stark message to the country's ruling military council. Organizers have called for a million-man march on Friday to pressure the council to hand over the control to the civilian government. Some protesters are even calling this the last chance for the council to do the right thing and quit. Some of the more hardcore protesters say they have no plans to leave Tahrir Square until they get what they want. The people in Egypt believe that demonstrators will keep the democratic transition from stalling. The protests also serve as a wake-up call for the ruling Supreme Council of the Armed Forces, better known as SCAF. After days of excusing violent crackdown on demonstrators, the SCAF on Thursday reversed course and apologized for the deaths. It stressed that the elections will go ahead. Some voters say they will take part only if it moves the country forward. Egyptian media said on Thursday the country's military rulers have appointed former Prime Minister Kamal al-Ganzouri to form a new government after the previous civilian cabinet of Prime Minister Esham Sharaf resigned. The appointment of Ganzouri, who has served under the ousted President Hosni Mubarak, has been met with mixed reactions from the protesters in Cairo's Tahrir Square. Despite the new appointment, activists vow to increase the pressure on their generals with an overwhelming display of people power planned for Friday. Military rulers have promised to speed up the timetable for the handover of the government to civilian presidential rule and insist that elections will go ahead next week as planned. Once held as the champion of the people, now the army is trying to defuse the worst crisis of its 10 years in almost a week of protest that has left 41 people dead. At a time when the revolutionaries are getting outnumbered by reactionaries, the military, the old guard Islamists and remnants of the former government, demonstrators are trying to remind them of their consequences. By using the only tool the revolutionaries have, protest, they are reminding those forces that the principles of the revolution must be upheld or the upheaval will continue.